Building a better Bay Area. Moving forward, finding solutions. This is ABC 7 News.
Hi there, I'm Kristen Z. You're watching Getting Answers live on ABC 7. We're asking experts your questions every day at 3 to get answers for you in real time. Today, the Omicron surge has highlighted the inequities and extra risks facing the poor. A reporter with our media partner, the San Francisco Standard, will be joining us to share why tenants of Chinatown's single-room occupancy hotels are begging the city for help. Also, a Bay Area high school girl's buzzer beater from beyond half court is gaining national attention. Hillsdale High School basketball star Makenanitao, look at this shot. Boom! She'll be joining us live from the court where it happened. But first, rethinking the workplace. The pandemic has changed the way many of us approach our jobs and our life. A Southern California congressman wants to enable a new normal for workers. Representative Mark Takano from Riverside has introduced the 32-hour Workweek Act, and he joins us now to talk about it. Thank you so much, Congressman, for your time.
Oh, my pleasure.
So a lot of people heard about this, got very excited. Ooh, 32-hour work week. But your bill doesn't actually mandate that the work week be 32 hours instead of 40, does it? Can you explain it?
Well, I think it incentivizes it really significantly, but you're correct. My bill does not mandate that that workers only work 32 hours, and just like they're not mandated to only work 40 hours currently. What my bill does is amend the Fair Labor Standards Act so that workers can start earning overtime pay. In fact, they would have a right to overtime pay after 32 hours worth of work instead of the current 40 hours worth of work.
Okay, so would this apply to, I guess, just hourly workers then, not salaried workers?
Yes,
right?
mainly hourly workers. Their salaried workers are not counted in this calculation. Yeah. Although salaried workers up to a certain threshold, income threshold, are entitled to overtime pay. So it would affect a significant number of salaried workers as well.
Okay, and would the 32 hours have to be over 4 days?
My bill does not stipulate that, and that would be up to negotiation with collective bargaining in certain states. Just like California limits, it does say that if you work over 8 hours a day, you get overtime pay, but not everywhere is that worked out so that the total number of hours, which equals to 40 now, would also. I mean, my intent is that we would have 8-hour work days.
Okay.
That we wouldn't have it be 12-hour days, but my bill does not
get into that level of specificity. Okay, no. Congressman Takano, why did you introduce this bill? What were you seeing that made you feel like this was necessary right now?
Well, what I was seeing was a tremendous number of Americans wanting work hour flexibility coming out of this pandemic. You know, people have seen Americans have seen 900,000 of their fellow Americans die of COVID, and more of their fellow Americans getting sick, and the stress of on our essential workers, on our regular workers, having to endure this pandemic with this extra added burden. Some of our countrymen have experienced that flexibility, and they like it. They like working from home. They like the flexibility that came with the pandemic. But others during the pandemic, suffered the extra stress, and they're looking for a new normal. And so, frequently, workers when they look to get new employment, they're asking their employers for greater work flexibility. And in so many words, I think they're really looking for a 4-day work week.
I have to tell you, I mean, there are a lot of tech companies, especially here in the Bay Area, that have gone that way, and they do report very good productivity, and certainly, the workers are happier. But I want to ask you, change is hard for a lot of people. Have we always had a 5-day work week or a 40-hour work week, or is that actually a relatively modern, structure?
Well, if you think of 1935, almost 100 years ago, as the time in which we actually codified into law the 5-day work week. We said that 40 hours a week would be the point at which you would earn overtime pay. The idea was an 8-hour a day week, an 8-hour a day would be 1/3 of what you would of your day. So 1/3 of work, 1/3 to sleep, and 1/3 to do what you will was kind of the mantra of the day. So no, we haven't always had the 40-hour work week. It was quite common before 1935 for people to work way in excess of 40 hours a week. So interesting to note, Richard Nixon, a Republican in the early 1950s, campaigned for the vice presidency. And one of the things he said was he thought that the 32-hour work week would become an eventuality. So this idea has been with us before. So I think now that the time has come for us to really make it happen.
Which countries already have a similar structure, a 4-day work week or less?
Well, many European nations already have a less than 40-hour work week. France has I'm not exactly sure what is what the point the French workforce can earn overtime pay, but they, in Europe, they do work a lot. They work less per week, and it is customary for European workers to actually take vacation time. Americans are among the hardest working workers of the advanced economies. We know that Iceland has tried experiments with reducing their work week, and as you said, it does not appear that productivity has suffered. We have seen experiments occur in Japan with Microsoft. Just recently, Panasonic announced that it was going to move to a 32-hour work week along with Kickstarter. And as you say, many of your Silicon Valley tech companies are moving toward a 32-hour work week. And it's the tech workers and the highly skilled programmers and software developers that are driving this conversation. And I think they're going to have a huge impact on the cultural conversation, making this a cultural norm. My bill, of course, would extend this conversation to all classifications of workers.
Right. Well, Congressman Takano, what do you say to employers or companies that say, look, I'm already worried about a staffing shortage. This cannot possibly benefit me, or perhaps it'll make it more expensive for me to staff up or do business so that I'll have to reduce the number of jobs. You worry about that?
Well, I think this very situation is causing the very situation of a workforce shortage of employees, of this being an employee market, is already causing this conversation to be very much a real conversation for employers right now. I was just reading an account just earlier today about the restaurant industry being particularly impacted. And a shorter work week is already being contemplated by employers in the restaurant and hospitality sector. I would say that it's very much on the table, along with increased benefits and the other array of benefits that an employer could offer. This is something that's already on the table for many employers. I would say having this benefit really taken off the table by putting it into statute would level the playing field for everybody. All employers would be compliant. It wouldn't be a point of competition really anymore.
Well, I know that your progressive colleagues have endorsed it, but do you think it has a real shot at passing, or are you just happy to have the conversation?
Well, I'm very heartened that the nearly 100 members of the Progressive Caucus have gotten behind this bill. That's a huge step forward. The AFL-CIO and many other major labor unions have gotten behind this bill. But we're seeing, as I said, already private sector actors, about 5% of the American workforce is already on a reduced work week. As we're seeing, the restaurant industry is having serious conversations about the need to expand their incentives to bring in and keep employees. I think what's really going to make the difference here is an outcry from the American public, and for the people to call their representatives and say this is something very much they want. With public sentiment, this is something very much possible.
Congressman Mark Takano, thank you so very much for your time today. I appreciate the conversation.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, there's an alarming spike in Omicron cases within San Francisco's Chinatown community, and part of the reason is where some of the residents are living. We're talking live with a San Francisco Standard reporter who's been documenting the problem and the city's reaction. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us today. I can see a lot of you are in favor of a 32-hour work week, beyond which you get overtime pay. That is what's contained in Mark Takano's bill. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. In the meantime, please enjoy this lovely shot of Alcatraz. Welcome back. ABC7 is excited about our partnership with the brand new San Francisco Standard. Part of building a better Bay Area is highlighting those who are working toward the same mission we have here at ABC7. The Standard's deep and insightful reporting on the city does just that. And today they're sharing alarming statistics from San Francisco's single-room occupancy hotels. Those are SROs, and those residents have suffered disproportionately in this pandemic. So there's been a major spike in Omicron cases within these small housing units. Joining us now to talk about this issue is San Francisco Standard reporter Han Lee, who covers hyper-local issues important to the Asian American community. Han, nice to have you back.
Hi, Kristen. Gong hei fa choi. Thank you for having me.
Gong hei fa choi, gong xi fa cai, almost Lunar New Year. And sadly, at this time of celebration, you're seeing within the Chinatown community, especially those living in single-room occupancy hotels, there's been a big infection problem with Omicron. Tell people who don't understand how those apartments work and what makes that environment so dangerous.
Yes, so we published this important story this week. So when we talk about SRO, it means single room occupancy. So it's a certain type of housing really common in San Francisco, Chinatown, and the Mission District, and also Tenderloin District. So generally, there are 8 to 10 units per floor, and each day they will all have their own room, but they share the bathroom together, the whole floor. And sometimes the entire building will share one kitchen. So it's considered a high-risk situation during the pandemic because all the tenants there, they share the facilities under this highly contagious virus. And during the Omicron surge, the SRO housing tenants are being hit hard, especially. According to the city's data, from November to December, this 1 month period, it's less than 40 cases in the SRO housing. And from December to the January, this 1 month period, the COVID cases in SRO housing is over 600 cases. So that's over 1,000% increase, which is a really concerning trend, but didn't get a lot of attention.
So in your article, you talk about the Chen family. They had a positive case, and they really wanted to be able to isolate and quarantine and get the rest of the family testing negative away from them. Talk about what happened? What kind of challenges did they encounter from the city?
Yes, so I get to interview this Chen family. So the daughter was tested positive after the New Year's holiday. So because they don't have the financial capacity to afford hotel rooms to quarantine, so they turned to the city for help, but the city didn't provide quarantine rooms for them. So she has to live with her mom and also her younger sister back in the SRO room, which is a really tiny, small room, only 80 square feet. So after several days living together, her mom also developed symptoms and tested positive. So even two of them are tested positive. The city still refused to provide quarantine hotels.
So your reporting was discussed at a recent Board of Supervisors meeting. What came of that conversation? Did the city promise to add to its safety net?
Yeah, so Department of Public Health did respond to me saying they recognize the special needs of the SRO housing tenants, but for now, the resources are limited, so they're prioritizing the quarantine rooms for those confirmed cases who are living with medically vulnerable people, which means if you're confirmed, if you're tested positive, and then you're living with medically vulnerable people, then you are qualified to have the rooms. But for the SRO tenants, sometimes in the same room, probably they don't have a medically vulnerable people living with them, but the whole building, the same floor, probably there are seniors living with them, and they might be medically vulnerable. So it's complicated if the SRO tenants are qualified yet. So at the Board of Supervisors meeting, I think they discussed this, but I don't know if they updated their quarantine policies yet.
I do hope you continue to follow up. Certainly, this is impactful work. Thank you so much, Han Lee, for sharing that, and our best to the Chen family. If you want to learn more, you can check out Han Lee's report on this, and we have links to the San Francisco Standard's other original stories on our website, abc7news.com. And to watch more of their videos, check out our ABC7 Bay Area streaming TV app. Coming up next, you're going to love this. She shoots, she scores, and the crowd goes wild. A Bay Area high school basketball star lands on ESPN after an amazing buzzer beater. She will be joining us live to talk about that surreal moment when we come back. All right, everybody, this is the best end to your week, I promise. A Bay Area high school girl makes an incredible shot that even Steph Curry would be proud of. No lie, no exaggeration. So stick around for that, coming up right after this short little break. Super excited. All right, we're back, and you're going to love this. Basketball fans love a good buzzer beater. Maybe when Stephen Curry sinks a half-court shot that looks nearly impossible, well, Curry may be impressed himself with an incredible shot that a Bay Area high school girl made last week. It landed her on ESPN SportsCenter. Check it out.
California high school hoops. Hillsdale taking on Mills. Time running down in the quarter. Got to have something here. McKenna Nitao Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
From beyond half court, the launch, nothing but nylon. Hillsdale wins.
Crazy, right? That was on January 19th. It happened in San Mateo, and the player who made that shot was Hillsdale varsity girls point guard junior Makenanitao. McKenna joins us now from Hillsdale's gym, and she's there along with her assistant coach, John Lowe, and teammates Bailey and Rhea. McKenna, congratulations. Oh my gosh, are you still in shock?
Yeah, I'm still so in shock. I had no idea that this shot would take me to where I am right now.
Okay, I mean, it was stunning because it was way farther than a half court, I think, right? That was like 3/4. 3/4?
Yeah, 3/4.
Okay, do you practice that?
I definitely do not practice that.
Okay, so have you ever made a shot from that far away before?
I haven't. That was the first half-court shot I've ever made.
Okay, that's crazy. Bailey, Rhea, I see you two back there. When you saw that shot go in, how did you react? What did you think?
Excited for her. I was standing right in front of her when she took that shot, and I just watched that go into the basket, and I got so excited.
Yeah, definitely one of the coolest moments we've had.
Okay, because here it is again. I just want to know what you guys were thinking. Rhea, were you like, what? How? You kidding me?
Yeah, and I ran right to her and I grabbed her. I started yelling at her.
Oh my gosh. How did the video end up on ESPN? I think, John, you had something to do with that, right? Come closer, John.
Yeah. Her grandfather actually gives us little bits of film on it, so he cut out a small portion of the shot, and I was watching ESPN one night, and I thought, you know what, McKenna's shot was as good or better than the shot that I saw, and I just submitted it.
Oh yeah, and they were like so happy to have that, I'm sure. McKenna, I think it's every high school athlete's dream, I think it's safe to say, to be featured on SportsCenter's Top 10. What's happened in your life since then?
I've just gotten so much recognition for that shot. Everywhere somebody's telling me, like, McKenna, that was so cool. My teachers, like, even people at school who I've never talked to, they notice me in the halls now. And it's just been really great and really cool to, like, have everybody recognize me.
Are colleges reaching out to you? I know you're still a junior.
I've had a few coaches talk to me about the shot, but
okay,
not much.
Guess what? After this appearance, they'll be flooding your email. Look, this was a big moment, no doubt, but your whole season and school year, I hear, have been amazing, right? I'm going to embarrass you a little bit here. 4.0 GPA. You were Athlete of the Week. Your team is 15-1, right? 5-0 in league play. So I'm going to let John embarrass you a little bit. Here, John, how much has McKenna contributed to this team's success?
I think that every player that we have contributed equal amounts, but her job is a little bit harder because she has to play point guard. So she has to control the tempo, the flow of the game, and make sure that everybody else gets their shots as well. And it's a lot on her shoulders. So in other words, she's like a coach on the team, and that's what I appreciate the most. It makes my job a lot easier.
McKenna, I mean, do you feel like you have more pressure on your shoulders now after you made that shot, or is it kind of like, nah, I'm good?
I definitely feel like I have a reputation to hold up now. After that, everybody's talking about it, and I feel like I have to prove myself now and live up to everything that's happened.
All right, you guys won that game, right, by the way? I mean, I think you did. You won that game easily, right? Okay. Wow. Okay, so I got to ask you, who is your favorite basketball player, McKenna?
My favorite basketball player is definitely Stephen Curry.
Stephen Curry, no competition, right? What do you love about his game?
I just love his ability to recognize the defense, and his shooting range is just amazing. I love watching him play.
All right. Well, hopefully, maybe you'll get to meet him someday. Have you? Have you met him ever?
I haven't.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure he'd love to congratulate you in person one of these days, hopefully. Hey, Bailey and Rhea, can you tell me, like, how long and hard does McKenna practice?
I've actually been playing with McKenna since grade school in another league, so I've come a long way with her from just elementary school and middle school up to varsity basketball in high school. So I've seen all the work that she's put in, and it's been pretty incredible to see.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the hardest working athletes I know, and I'm very grateful that I get to share the court with her every day.
All right, McKenna, I'm doing this just to embarrass you. You know that, right? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know you feel the same way about your teammates. All right, so that shot seemed like 1 in a million, but I don't know. Would you like to see if lightning could strike again? Want to try it?
We can try. I don't know if it will, but we can try.
Yeah, I mean, there's, nobody expects it. Just try. Why not? Let's go for this. You ready?
All right.
All right. Everybody, hold our breaths. Oh! Well, it hit the backboard. It was so close. Okay, I think you got to do it one more time. Somebody get the ball back for her. Try one more time.
Okay.
Come on. I mean, Steph Curry is not 100% even, so let's. That was amazing still. All right. Hey, beautiful. That was wonderful. We are all so proud of you. I want to know what is next for you. Now that you've been on ESPN and you're coming back down to earth, what's next?
Well, right now, I really just want to help my team get to CCS and hopefully win league and go undefeated. And I'm definitely looking to play college basketball, so that's like my long-term goal as well.
All right, Dustin, who's watching us, Dusty Gavin, who's watching us on Facebook Live, says, does she plan on getting drafted by the Women's Basketball League?
If it comes, if the opportunity presents itself, I definitely consider it, yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
All right. I love it when petite girls are like giant on the court. I love that. That's awesome. Hey, congratulations to you, Bailey, Rhea, John, all of you. Obviously, an amazing moment, and best of luck to you for the rest of the season. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Thank you, McKenna.
Thank you so much. Thanks
for having us.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you. Okay, that just warms my heart. I could watch that shot over and over again. We'll be right back. All right, is McKenna still there? I hope they haven't disconnected. If they're still there, let's have a little more fun with them. Oh, you're still there. Yay. Okay, we are done with the TV portion of our interview, but we are still here on Facebook Live. So if you have a couple more minutes, would just love to ask you about do your parents come to all the games? I know your grandfather shot that video, right? Is he the family photographer? Yeah. Does he shoot all the games?
He records all of our games and he gets all of our film to us. And my parents do come to every game, yeah.
Wow, are they basketball players too? Do they give you feedback?
They both do, but my dad's the only basketball player.
Nice, nice. So can I just ask you, talk about that moment a little bit more? We still have that video because we love watching it. It seems like everybody was kind of stunned. Were you absorbing all the noise? Were you aware what was happening, or did the world kind of go into a strange sphere of silence for you?
When I made the shot, I couldn't even believe it. My teammates were super excited. They were pushing me everywhere. I couldn't even process what was happening. I was just getting thrown around by all of them. It was crazy.
All right. Well, Randy says, sounds like a well-rounded student. Good for her. I'm sure her parents are very proud. I'm sure everybody is. So again, congratulations. Best luck to, your whole team, all of you. Congratulations. Hope CCS and CIF are ahead for you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys. Was that not just the best story? That was my favorite Friday ever. Such a joyous moment and so pure. And, again, you just don't expect that shot to sink because of how far it is and how amazing it is. But she did it. So relish every moment. And thanks for your nice comments, everybody. Oh, great. Hey, so Rachel, you want to cue up that shot again since we have 30 seconds? Thanks so much for joining us on this interactive show, Getting Answers Today. Today, we talked about the possibility of a 4-day work week with the California congressman, Mark Takano, proposing that in a bill that anything over the 32nd hour would become overtime. So there is that. We also talked about the situation in Chinatown's SROs, and due to the cramped quarters, that's really caused a lot of COVID infections. And of course, we end this show with this shot, just incredible, by Makenanitao of Hillsdale High School. Congratulations. All right, thank you so much.